All right,
so
should we
on to
move on?
4, yes, which is a change of pace.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this one also brought back a lot of recent conversations we had with our colleague, like Emma, for example.
Very much so. Yes.
Number 4, engineered living therapeutics.
Yes.
Microbes designed to deliver therapies on demand.
Yes.
Okay, super cool. So we just went from small nuclear reactors in the back of your car to essentially injecting yourself with therapeutics that live in your body.
And of course, this is really exciting. And it gets to this idea of engineering microbes, engineering cells, so they can produce stuff which is useful, but not necessarily an inherent part of the cell. So the idea, there are so many different ideas here, but one idea is imagine that all of those microbes that you have in your probiotics who live in your gut, you can actually engineer them so as well as doing what they do, they generate sort of materials that are actually good for you.
Yeah.
Whether that's sort of vitamins, whether it's therapeutic agents, goodness knows what.
Yeah.
And so this is actually a very vibrant area of research, and we're getting closer to being able to do this.
Yep. When reading through this, right? So it's this idea, I think again, this probiotic system, right? Which, I take these, I pop one of these almost every night,
but those haven't been engineered yet.
Right. And they're also not tailored to me, right? Yep. So, but this idea, right, of having that in there so that they can produce these drugs.
Yes.
Right? Like, oh, do you need something?
Yep.
Hold on.
But also, in principle, you can switch it on and off.
Yeah,
so if you
enzymes,
get it right,
hormones, things, right? And all of these things. And we, this sort of triggers in my mind too, a lot of the talk around these epigenetic markers that we have and how, if we could figure out a therapeutic way of doing this to which could be tailored to the individual to turn things on or off. That can help, right? With whatever it is. Maybe it's staying away from something or trying to get something, using your own genetic code that's already there. And you're working on the things that lie above the genetic code in terms of what things that we can manipulate that. And then, of course, right off thinking about like, how cool would that be? Is you're like, wait a minute.
Is this such a good idea?
What if it decides it wants to grow something that doesn't?
What could possibly go wrong?
Go wrong. And then, again, that's just a callback to that episode we had with Emma too about the idea of care with synthetic biology like this, is really this idea of, and I mean, right in the report too, I mean, it addresses right away that obviously safety is like the central focus here on the main concerns, because what are these unintended consequences of like genetic transfer? What about immune responses? Like if we could put these microbes in you, because there'd be a danger once it's in there, how would you get it out?
That's right. Yeah. If you suddenly get an allergic reaction or something.
Yeah. I mean, now it's like, what is it? How long is the human intestines? 20 feet? Something like that?
I can't remember.
Or whatever, feet, however long it's like you've got 20 feet worth of painful.
Flushing all of that out is,
it's going to take some time.
Right.
And what if it doesn't want to leave?
Yeah.
I don't know.
But that said, there are so many really intriguing sort of applications for this. So I'll actually go back to one that feels very trivial. And actually, this goes back to synthetic biology. And this is many years ago. I'm trying to think, sort of 10, 15 years ago now. So I think we mentioned in the episode with Emma iGEM, the International Genetically Engineered Machine competition, where you have these groups of students get together to re-engineer microbes to do things.
Cool stuff.
And several years ago, there was this conceptual idea, which I loved. And they actually had a couple of conceptual designers sort of work on this. But the idea was taking probiotics that released dyes according to the health of your body.
Oh, interesting.
So you could use this as an indicator of sickness, sort of early indicator of cancer, or you've got sort of XYZ disease.
These like biomarkers. So basically, when you turn around to,
that's exactly it. It changes the color of your poop.
Yep.
But yes, you can sort of expand this out. But it's a very, very simple idea of microbes that have been engineered to, in this case, act as an early indicator of something that's going wrong. Yeah. But just as the way that these would release a dye, you can imagine they would release a therapeutic to actually correct the thing that's going on.
Absolutely. Well, and it's interesting too, because I mean, as funny, I'm too immature to ever talk about these things without having potty humor. But I mean, there's also this, like, I feel like in many ways, this idea of evaluating what comes out of your body is in some ways taboo. Like we shouldn't talk about,
Right.
but also, I mean, incredible health information
Of
that's
course,
coming
yes,
out
yes,
of you,
yeah.
like, and how many markers. And here's a fun, so this is a totally random thing that I risk debunking or taking this whole show off the rails.
Yeah.
When we lived in Europe for a long time, we were exposed to shelf toilets.
Okay.
Do you know what these are? Have you seen these?
I'm not sure I have.
Okay.
I think I might know what you're talking about.
So I'll prep also because we were talking about Japanese toilets a while ago. In the US, for example, the common toilet has the bowl of water and then the drain sort of situated at the back. So it's basically just a bowl of water with a drain at the bottom.
Yep.
A shelf toilet has the drain at the very front and basically a literal shelf. Right. So the waste goes onto this shelf.
Yes.
And then when you flush the toilet, it's flushed off the shelf down the drain.
Yes.
But the point of it has a historical origin of inspecting your own waste for markers of sickness.
Because in the past, this was a thing that was done.
If you didn't have a doctor, you couldn't go like whatever. Like you would, I mean, not to get into it, but basically investigating that can give you tips on even just your dietary health in terms of hydration, all this stuff. But it was interesting because I was like, these shelf toilets, what is with these shelf toilets?
You know, strangely enough, this actually didn't reach the WEF report.
And now we know why Sean's never been invited.
Right.
Oh,
but
goodness.